You think you'd tell me your name and where your family is from?
Lawrence, you belong. Wait, Philippines?
Yeah, and how much of your cultural background do you think makes up your identity, if at all?
52%, actually.
Yeah.
52. Well, 50%.
Okay. Do you know where your folks were before they were here?
Actually, it's interesting. My grandmother's a genealogist. So I do know my family has been in America since like the Mayflower. But culturally, I'm like part Irish, English, a little bit of German, tiny bit Native American. But my family's been in America for a very, very, very long time.
My family is from Germany, Russia, Poland, Romania, and pretty much all over the place.
So there's a little bit of possibly Austria, possibly Poland. Let's count that as one.
Okay.
There's a little bit of Romanian, there's a little bit of Greek.
I know on my dad's side there's lots of German and lots of Swedish. On my mom's side there ranges everything from Welsh to Native American to English to Scottish, a whole bunch of different things, I guess. I'm not really sure.
My name is Anubhav Bhardwaj. I am from India, New Delhi. New Delhi, India. Sorry.
My mom, well, she's from New Hampshire, but her family is from Italy and Ireland, and my dad's from Iran.
My dad's American, and my mom is Japanese. I was born in Tokyo. I grew up there.
My father is, as I know, is 100% Irish. My mother is 50% Italian and 50% Lithuanian. So that makes me 50% Irish and quarter Italian and quarter Lithuanian. Since Lithuania is like not very big, I say that I'm Irish and Italian.
My mother is, I think, Dutch and English, and my dad is basically Danish, and that's it. And English, and there's Native American that we're like, yay, a little bit, but we're mostly just really white.
We're from China.
Whereabouts?
My dad is from Shanghai and my mom is from Beijing.
Well, my family is basically I'm mostly influenced by the fact that my family's from Italy.
Both my mom and my dad are both from Hong Kong, and their parents were from Hong Kong as well, so our entire family has stayed in Hong Kong basically for a couple of generations, and it was my dad who first moved to America, and that was where I was born.
My dad's friend, our last name is Campbell, so he's Scottish, but also on his father's side, his grandfather's side, I'm pretty sure, he's like pure Scottish, right? And then like his mom's side, they're all Swedish, so my dad's like Scottish and Swedish, man. It's like crazy. Like he wore a kilt once. It was intense. And my mom, she's like Swedish and Welsh and English and stuff. And
how much is my cultural background influenced my identity? Well, a lot, probably 80%, I'd say. Yeah.
What are you looking at me for?
I don't know.
He's actually from
Pakistan. I spent 18 years there, so.
My family's from South Korea. My dad's from Gimpo, which is more on the countryside. My mom's from Seoul, and that's the capital, obviously, which is a big city.
And
I'm from Jersey.
I think the way our current affairs are kind of affects the whole being Iranian thing. I haven't had too many problems. Had a couple of issues in the past before current situation.
If you ask a Japanese person, they would not identify me as Japanese, but I strongly identify with the Japanese culture.
I'm pretty like proud of being Irish because I'm from Boston and like Boston Irish Catholic. Like pretty proud of that. So
like my friends, like they know I'm half Japanese. They don't consider me full white, whereas I would, even though I am Japanese. So I feel like that puts me in a weird spot.
Well, I cook Indian food. I like Indian food. I love Indian people. Every time I see Indian kids and they make my people look stupid, I get really angry.
My parents are from rural, very, very rural Maine. My dad learned how to drive on a tractor. That's how rural they're from. About 99.999% of my family is from that kind of rural, laid-back culture. very white, very conservative.
I don't know, it makes me feel like I really don't have one because everyone in my town is like really Irish or really Italian, and then I'm just some
Asian.
Yeah, and I'm just some, or no one in my town is Asian.
Nicole
like
Cho.
2 people. Okay.
That girl.
LI208C. Anyway.
I do identify myself as Jewish. You have to when you have a nose as big as mine.
I don't know, I feel like I don't have a cultural identity. I don't have like big Italian meals. I don't do certain things. We're just really white heterogeneous family.
You even have a dog and a cat.
We do have dogs and cats.
Other than that, I don't really consider myself like a 4th Greek or a 4th Romanian. I consider myself to be an American.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you gotta give a certain amount of identity. Like a lot of your identity comes from like your background and stuff, like your culture, like what you have behind you. And like I'd say like a decent amount. Like not so much like I know much of their culture, but like I can appreciate the mannerisms and what they bring to the table, like having them around. Like I don't really think I carry on any customs or anything, but that's pretty much it.
I'm more at home. I used to think I was more at home here when I was younger because I just felt like, I don't know, I was used to this place. I moved to the US when I was 3.
I guess I'm really affected by my Italian background as well as the fact that my family is very Roman Catholic, and I'm very affected by that. My grandma actually thought she saw the Virgin Mary appear to her and tell her that my grandpa was going to save her, and they had an arranged marriage so that she would move to America.
I went back and I feel more at home in China now. I just don't know why. It's more of a with my people type of thing. I'm not racist. I'm not racist.
Oh no.
But culturally, they're Jewish. Oh yeah. It's not like a place, but I mean, it's definitely a culture. I mean, they're sort of things that are culturally Jewish, and it's definitely, even though I don't practice the religion or believe in it necessarily, it's definitely shaped my identity just from the point that it's kind of the way that you interact with people and, you know, food, stuff like that.
When I'm at home, I feel mostly like Jersey-ish because I'm like the black sheep in my family, and I'm so like white, I guess. But I feel like when I'm with my white friends, my Asianness like does come out once in a while, which is really weird and freaks the hell out of me because Asian people make me itchy. They kind of creep me out just a little.
I guess mix of cultures, I guess that gives me identity as an American. Maybe it gives me something else of that my identity doesn't necessarily need to be based upon my heritage. Maybe that's what that means.
I remember when I was in America, I would always identify myself as like an American because I had an American passport and everything. And then I went to China and I realized that, you know, it's not really what your passport that makes you, it's more of what your family is and what you believe yourself to be.
The taste, it's not more delicate, I have to say. It's not more greasy. I don't know if it's less greasy.
Less sodium-y?
What is real Indian food? Is it less greasy?
Yeah, less greasy, less
than
generic. You know what real Filipino food is? Blood soup and duck fetus.
Wow.